Hi everyone, I'm Muspel, and this is the Global Exclusive Podcast. I am once again joined this week by only Bharos, and we've
When you say
got.
only Barrows, like Muspel, I cannot help but sense that there is some disappointment.
I'm joined this week by. I'm trying to think of a way to say this that's as insulting as possible. Let me think.
Okay.
So, speaking of things that I have nothing but contempt for, this week we have the summer banner with these summer
Yeah.
units.
Yeah, me and Muspel were actually chatting up just before the episode about our, I want to say mutual hate. Yeah, I felt it. Like there's mutual hate
Yes.
for like summer banners and also kind of summer episodes in anime and bullshit. So yeah, this is not of our favorite banners, I guess.
Yeah. The only summer banner that didn't bother me as much was the one where they tried to even it out a bit, and they did Aloha Lastwell and Seaside Nickel, but then
Oh,
they never tried to
yeah.
follow it up.
Yeah, that's true. I was just about to say Big Heart, but Big Heart was actually a Valentine's Day unit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They felt very summery though, but yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Okay, so summer banner, I guess, right?
who do we want to start with? Beach Buoy Shinju?
Beach Boy Shinju, yeah, because I can't pronounce that for shit. Okay. So why Buoy? Buoy? Was that
Buoy.
correct?
Buoy.
Buoy. Okay, Buoy. So kind of like boo and then three E's at the end. Is that kind of Buoy? Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. But so where's the buoy? Is it up her ass?
I don't know. I think someone at Gumi doesn't know what a buoy is, and they thought that what she's on is a buoy.
Hold
And
on.
then
Do
they
I
also
know what
thought
a
that
buoy is?
and
A
then they
buoy
also
is one
thought
of those.
that Shinju was a boy, so they thought that it was like Beach Boy Shinju. So if those things were
Ah.
true, it would be a good pun.
Wait, hold on.
But
Is Shinju a boy?
no.
No. Okay.
So
Okay.
it's a joke that fails in two different ways.
Yeah, but okay. First of all, let us cross check the facts here. A buoy is one of those big things that floats in the sea, right? That kind of warns
Yeah.
off or guides ships
Yeah, it's
around,
it's
right?
it's
Like
it's like a floating thing that's anchored in some way so it doesn't move around, or at least
right.
it moves within a certain distance of its anchor.
Well, technically, Muspel, you don't know if her cougar is anchored to the bottom of the sea.
I think that's a coral because it has like the huge
Ah, yeah,
whiskers.
of course, yeah, okay. But point still, like you don't know if it's anchored to the bottom of the sea, though. You don't. Like it
Uh,
could be a buoy.
I can't read Japanese, but I'm gonna assume that one of these jewel tips says something about like free floating or whatever. So you're
Ah,
wrong,
there we go. So
and
okay.
and and,
The
and you
best
can't
question
prove
is,
otherwise.
but what is her name in Japanese then?
Let me translate it. It has 21 in the title. Let's see, Shinju 2021. I'm guessing this is summer because there's one more character.
So okay, so like in
Uh,
Japan, she had nothing to do with buoys. Okay. Hey, maybe it's up her butt.
yeah,
Listen,
summer.
have you seen this commercial where for lube where
Nope.
there's
Okay,
this
so
lady? Okay,
so she does damage.
yeah, she
Uh,
does. She does actually.
yeah. The damage is pretty good.
Surprisingly good, I want to say.
Yeah, burst wise comparable to there aren't any mages on this level other than Fizzless, who we'll get to later. But physical wise, on paper about the same as like Carton, Lara, Sephiroth. The problem is that this is mage, it's element locked. I mean, those units are some of those units are element locked too, like Sephiroth, but
Yeah,
they can still be
but
imbued.
exactly. So they can still have one imbue to actually lower that lock-in effect or the reduction of damage.
Yeah.
They can't, but also, let's be fair here. If we're also looking at a bit more Whaley builds, or not even Whaley builds, just more gear, Sephiroth scales so much harder.
Yeah, Sephiroth does
Um,
scale quite well. And another thing I want to mention is that, uh, since we didn't say it before, Shinju is Earth element.
yeah, but still, I want to go back to saying this is really good damage. This is really good damage. Like if you get either, well, since we're talking about Shinju, if you get Shinju, you have a strong magic burster. Yes, she's Earth locked, and obviously not as strong as Angela. I guess Angela does like what 50% more damage than
Something
these
like
two.
that. Yeah.
But Angela is a special case, and she's actually a mistake. Um, but otherwise, what can we tell about the unit though? It's this slim, super slim, annoying design for SLB units. She has like two abilities. Is there anything worth in her kit to discuss?
Uh, no.
No, it's like she has some chaining, I guess. There's that, but most SLB units have some type of weak chain.
Yeah. The other thing to note, I guess, as you just said, is that she's SLB, which is,
Yeah,
especially at lower EX levels, means you're waiting longer to burst than these other units are that we were talking
yeah,
about. So, and
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So, and her base LB is actually very weak. That actually annoys me a bit. So it's jump like it's 150x to 300x jump, which is quite a big jump. Maybe this is actually true for all SLBs. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it is that it's a double jump. I guess we should note also that she has innate aquatic and stone killers built into her LB, so she's gonna be hitting those races pretty hard always.
yeah. But overall, just a very boring damage dealer.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
the TM is fine. Some resist, some LB fill, whatever. It's a materia.
What does it do? Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
20% lightning, water, wind, earth resist for LB autofill. So a decent amount of autofill, but these days I feel like that's becoming easier and easier to gear for. So it's
Yeah,
not like a
not
year
a
and a
huge
half
thing.
ago. This would be a huge deal, but
Yeah,
now,
but when the fuck are you gonna equip this? Like, I mean, come on. Like, maybe if you like really need LB fill and um resistances, but that feels a bit like a stretch, maybe.
yeah. Well, it's still like probably close to the highest LB autofill of any materia in the game, right?
Yeah, I would say the only thing beating it would probably be like Kyrie, right? How much does Call of the Wild give?
Well, that's not autofill. That's a cast.
Ah, yeah, yeah, true, true, true.
But yeah, I
But
think the
Kyrie
problem
gives like
is just
seven
that
or some shit or more, even maybe. I
to
don't
some
remember.
extent we've shifted away from autofill mattering as much, just because
Yeah,
fights are over. We don't care as much about sustained, and there's
yeah,
bigger active sources of fill.
yeah. And I want to
So
say, Warring Spirit is a thing. So most units only need their LB once,
yeah,
and if they don't, they have a really reliable way of filling that LB. That doesn't involve autofill. So
yeah. And Warring Spirit, for those that don't remember the name, is the passive that a lot of units have that fills their LB gauge at the start of a fight.
yeah, but it's always almost always EX2 locked.
Yeah,
Or I think it's always EX2 locked. It's an
yeah.
EX2 ability.
So TM, not bad, but not something you're going to use frequently, I don't think. Uh, STMR is an accessory with 70 magic and some resists and charm immunity.
Yeah,
So,
decent.
yeah, I mean, the magic is nice, but this is not the kind of thing where you're looking at it and you're saying, I want to pull for this unit to get this.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so should we move on to the water version of her?
We can talk about the Bushin card. All three
Ah,
units have the
oh,
same one, I think, but
that's true. That's true. Let's talk about it first then.
it sucks. Okay,
Isn't this
next
like
unit.
total super trash, right?
This feels like it was designed by someone who didn't realize that they don't make normal evokers anymore. And by normal evokers, I mean evokers that scale off of both magic and spirit.
Right. Because like
Because,
it has 60 magic, 60 spirit, which is like free VC tier of stats.
yeah,
And like I guess there is the level 10 bonus where you get either TDH or dual wield magic and spirit.
yeah,
So that's nice, I
yeah.
guess.
So if there was a unit that wanted both magic and spirit, this would actually be decent for them. The problem is that nobody really does. Like, healers technically benefit from both, but they barely care about magic and they barely scale, and nobody uses healers, so this vision card
Yeah.
sucks.
I mean, I was gonna ask like, what the fuck is a healer? Um, no, yeah, yeah, true, true. I mean, this might be like a slight upgrade when you're gearing units for spirit right now. If you're doing spirit TDH, but
there's cards that have so much more flat spirit though. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
yeah,
Because if you go Yoshi, like you're gonna have so much more flat spirit. It's well, I don't know which is gonna be more worth, but like, it's not as huge as it sounds because it's only 50%. So
yeah. So I don't think this is ever going to see any use unless
yeah,
we get
probably
an
not.
old school evoker, which I hope to God we don't.
Yeah, maybe Citra, new Citra NV base version.
Yeah. So far this banner is not looking too great because we have a unit with okay damage, but a bunch of drawbacks, and honestly still not that impressive.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, no, I don't want to go that far. I mean, I was surprised by how well they do.
well, I just think I feel like these units are relative to today's meta. They remind me kind of like Edel back in the day or Bart's, where the damage was great on paper, but you have to wait more turns than most fights will take.
Yeah,
And
I
and
mean, that
obviously
is
it's
definitely a
less
thing.
turns than like Bart's and all that needed to really take off back then. But it's painful, and
Yeah,
it's usually better to just use somebody faster.
and I do think that like maybe the big thing is actually also the full-on elemental lock because they are mages, so they're gonna just
Yeah,
have really crappy a time because yeah,
yeah.
you really want that imbue to at least have half of the good element. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I guess potentially they could be really good for fights where their element is the primary element, and you kind of ran out of physical damage dealer gear.
Yeah.
Then yeah, sorry, I am
Okay.
stretching too much. We should go to the
So,
next unit.
yeah, so the next unit. Bharos, I want you to close your eyes. And
Okay, I'm
viewers, I
closing
want
my
you to
eyes.
also close your eyes, assuming you're not driving or anything.
All right, my mouth is open.
Never mind. This was a terrible idea.
All right, so
Okay. So imagine the fattest unit you can.
the fattest. Okay, I am
Okay,
imagining a
bigger,
like.
bigger.
Okay, I bulwark.
Yes, good. Okay. Now imagine Bulwark. Now make him worse.
Okay,
Okay. Now make him worse than that, and take away all of his
okay,
killer buffs, and his
okay. What is
breaks,
he?
and his
Okay,
shift, and
okay.
his LB fill, and
Like this is a
what
terrible
else does he
unit.
have? Okay, I think you're close to how bad Frisia is.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I feel you tricked me because I was gonna say she's the best unit on the banner, but okay, okay. Now that you've laid it up this way, yeah, okay. She's not great, especially not compared to Bulwark.
I
No, I get. Does she have anything unique to speak for her? Like anything at
um
all?
is Reaper mitigation unique? I forget if anybody else has it.
No. Well, wait, Reaper. Um, th- doesn't
Does Charlotte have that, or is that just for herself?
I was
And
gonna say
does anyone
Renora, but
care?
yeah, but does anyone really care? I guess is the best question. Um, I mean, so great actually intro for this unit. So what she actually is just like a wind version of Roka, um,
Roko without
ish.
the cooldown reduction.
Yeah, Roka without the cooldown reduction. I mean, she's an amper. She's a support amper. We've had several of them. Roka and Frisia are the only ones that are SLB for now because the previous ones had shifts. Um, so yeah, she does the standard thing. She imbues your party and she does a 45% wind amp. Now the problem is we had 45% wind amp in fucking NVA Barts ages ago. And then more recently, we got a unit that we just compared with, Bulwark, that also has 45% wind amp, but also has, things like an Imperil to wind and killers and a ton of other utility. Like a fuck ton of utility. Like her kit is technically like a tenth of Bulwark's kit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess she has the aquatic killers. So there's that.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, she's a very
but
standard like amp unit. She has one killer AOE that's 160 if you have EX3, and otherwise she
don't
amps
get
wind.
EX3. Please don't pull on this banner.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, everyone is gonna pull on it because we're getting a ton of free pulls. We're gonna talk about those later.
Yeah, but yeah, this is just a bad unit. I said this on Discord, but I can barely believe it's almost unbelievable that Gumi shat this unit directly into our laps after Bulwark had already come
Wow,
out in
you're
global.
so much more negative than I am because I actually think this is a good unit, and what I feel like this is that
So before
a
the
wind
episode,
amper is much more it has much more longevity than anything else. But yeah, of course, if you compare to Bulwark, she's absolute ass.
well,
I'm
but
gonna
before
admit
the
that.
episode, you said that like the difference is that Frisia is that like the damage dealers are going to be power crept probably within a month, and that's true. But the difference is Frisia was power crept months ago.
Yes,
She
no,
comes pre power crept,
but
whereas Physalis
look
and
at
Shinju at least like have a brief chance to shine.
yeah, but look at it this way: there's only two other units that are as potent as she is when it comes to wind, and not everyone has that. So I still think she's like, I think she's nice. She has a nice sprite. Okay, don't kill the buzz. She's good. Okay, she isn't good, but she looks nice and okay, fine. I give up. Okay, you've got what you wanted.
Ah, it's good to be right.
Yeah, I
Uh,
guess we don't really have much more to say. TMR and
no,
STMR maybe.
TM is another one of the. It feels like the STMR staffs where there's a billion of them and they don't really matter. I mean, it has MP regen, it's got some LB autofill. It's fine, I guess,
It's
but
another 4 LB fill actually. Maybe
yeah.
that's a theme
But
with
who
this
really
banner.
cares that much about this at this point? Like,
Yeah, nobody.
who's gonna use this?
Actually, nobody because it's so low spirit. I was actually surprised by how bad this TMR is. To be honest, like I was looking at it, I was like, this is a terrible TM. Like a
This feels like
terrible.
another one of those things. Like it has magic and spirit. It feels like there's somebody that thinks that old school evokers are a thing.
Could be. Could
It would
be.
still be bad for one of them, but being bad is very on brand for old school evokers. So
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I don't know. It was
yeah,
just weird. Honestly, this style. But the STMR is much more interesting.
yeah. The STMR is 200% true single wield for spirit, which is just a spirit version of Cloud's STMR, except
It's in.
true single wield, so you can use it with a shield, I guess. Although that's typically not relevant.
Yeah, and if you've ever tried gearing a unit for true single wheeled spirit, you're gonna know that that's really difficult unless the unit has passives out the butthole. Okay, because like getting to 400% is really hard.
Yeah.
Um,
So Aerith likes this. Yuna likes this. Maybe that's it. Actually, is there anybody else who's spirit
um,
based?
well, I was gonna say Shui Yu, but it's not like she's relevant. But she
Yeah,
actually likes this because she actually turns into a okay-ish burster in her shift form.
I guess maybe. I feel like
Yeah,
maybe
not
that'll be
really.
relevant once Chinese New Year rolls around if she gets EX
Yeah.
upgrades. But
I tried it. It wasn't actually really impressive. I just felt I had to say it. But yeah,
yeah,
unfortunately, it's really not that good.
yeah. So a couple units that can make good use of this, but uh, not really a reason to pull because those units are not. They're not that great in the first place at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I still think this is one of those materia that might be really useful in the future in general, unless, and this is a disclaimer, they just keep putting out units that just can cap this on their own with their own passes. Like I'm thinking units like Celeste, for instance. She wouldn't
Uh,
need this.
Yes, so there's two things that could make it not be good. The first is if that happens. The other one is if they just don't release more spirit damage dealers. We've had like two of them in the past, I don't know, year and a half,
Yeah.
and they came out in the last few months. I'm not sure if JP has gotten any new ones since then. So it seems like it's a rare thing. It could be a very long time before we see anyone new that can make good use of this.
Yeah. True. True. I was just trying to save the unit a bit. Like, although her saving
There's
grace
nothing
is
to
still the
save here.
best. No, no, no. The saving grace is still that she has the coolest sprite. She's an actual mermaid sitting on a rock. Okay, that's pretty cool. So
So
I'm gonna say that.
So is this like an alternate universe thing, or is it an outfit that she's wearing? Because
I
I
actually
guess
don't know.
I guess I
That's a
skipped
good
pretty much
question.
all of season 3, so I don't know anything about who Frisia is. But I'm assuming she's not an actual mermaid in the normal
She's
story.
a white mage, and I don't like. Okay, here's the problem. I skipped the story event though, so I have no idea whether she's an actual mermaid in the story event though. Could be like an
And
alternate
the
universe
wiki doesn't
thing.
have a translated bio. Let me put it into Google Translate and see if this helps.
Okay. Oh god, this is gonna be great. I hope it mentions tentacles, because like there's tentacles in the sea. So.
Okay, this is Google Translate, so some of it doesn't make sense. A
Oh.
white mage egg that lives in the mage village Roz.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I said egg. Like a
Yeah. Yeah.
mermaid princess who keeps thinking of the prince, too much to think about a certain longing mage, she has transformed into a mermaid. Okay,
Oh
so
wait, is
it's.
she? Is Frisia like has a crush on one of the cast?
I don't
Like,
know.
would that be maybe Mello?
Is
Okay,
Mello the
we're just
prince?
guessing.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I was thinking like it's a play on the Little Mermaid, Disney's Little Mermaid, where she's kind of sitting on that rock and pining after the prince. Um, anyway, listen, the sprite is decent. Okay, let's just move the fuck on. You just made me so
Yeah.
depressed because I was happy about shittering Frisia, and now I'm just sad. I'm just sad.
You know how what would make you feel happier?
No, fuck you, Muspel.
Hugging a giant chocobo.
Yeah, because I was just actually thinking, like, when the fuck am I gonna bring this unit over Bulwark? There's literally no
I mean,
reason.
she does
In
have a
the-
300% LB damage buff, which Bulwark does not. At least I don't think he does, right?
Well, that's actually true. No, he doesn't, and that's actually true because if you no, that's a good point. She's one of those. When you have her at EX2, she's gonna be one of those units that can give her give you a 300% LB buff. Well, on turn 4, but still.
On the other
Uh,
hand,
Actually, wait, she can do it on turn 1, right? Because her normal skill has that too, right? No, no, her
no,
normal
it's
LB
just
has
her SLB.
200%. Yeah, yeah, her SLB. Okay.
Uh, the other thing though is that Bulwark has a 350% stat buff, which Frisia does not. So
Yeah, but I think it's been said that the Roka and Frisia 300% LB buff is generally stronger than the 400% that Aerith has. Aerith has.
uh,
Like,
I think it depends. In
yeah,
global, I'm not so
probably.
sure that that's true because it feels like or at least you have to keep in mind that we do Clash of Wills, and in Clash of Wills, a lot of the strongest units are not using LBs.
That's also a good point, actually. That's also a good point. But yeah, okay, fine, fine. Okay, let's stop shitting on this unit. Let's move on to the last unit of the banner instead, which is technically a copy of the first unit on the banner. This is a
Yeah,
weird turnaround to go back to where we started.
Summer Sniper Fizzless. So, Barrows, when you think of mages, what weapon type do you think of?
Water guns.
Okay, so you're thinking like Beach episode Bayonetta.
Ye- Oh my lord. Okay. You have my interest. Continue.
Okay, no, that's all I got.
Oh,
There,
okay.
there, there,
Well,
there
you still
there's
have my
there's nothing
interest.
else interesting going on here.
Yeah, she's a water mage. I mean, water SLB mage. She does slightly more damage than Shinju because she has better passives. She has more gear that gives her flat stats, is what I should
Actually,
say.
Barros, I take that back. There's something really big going on here that we don't see every day, and we should give it every single bit of discussion it deserves, which is that she has
Oh
some
god.
actual utility.
Oh,
She has a cooldown that increases LB to all allies by 30. And
well,
there's only one small catch. Do you want to know what the catch is?
it's available on turn 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fucking great. Listen, I want to like I hope they have analytics as at Gumi, and for the like JP version, I would love to know how many times this has been used in their game. I'm gonna guess a big fat 0. Okay, I'm just gonna guess it's a big fat 0 because like it's not even high damage. It's like 350x water magic damage to all enemies, bolting strike chain.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
that's
not good.
nothing.
I mean,
Um,
the modifier itself is fine. The problem is that you can't multicast it. Well, I mean, you can multicast it with other stuff, but the other skills that you can cast with it are so weak that it's
yeah,
going to be bad damage that
doesn't
turn.
matter. Does not matter. So we did already mention she's SLB. She also has insect and aquatic killers, which is really fucking handy for the boss rush event we should talk about soon. But that's about it. It's very like I feel like these units were very specifically made to clear the boss rush, and the boss rush is a bit is slightly challenging at least. So we're gonna get into that. But other than that, really like yeah, maybe
Yeah.
talk about the TMR and STMR, I guess.
TMR is another materia. This one has 4 LB autofill. Is this like a
Ooh,
is
see,
4 like a theme? Like is that a does that have something
maybe
to do with summer in Japan? Like is summer the
yeah,
fourth season from their point of view?
yeah, maybe it's like when this is like they this is Golden Week, right? So yeah, maybe when they're like doing that, it's something with 4 because it is weird. It is 4 on everything we've seen. It's increased LB
Four
gauge 4
four
per
also
turn.
means death in Japan. So does this mean that FFBE is dying?
Yes, it's a dead game. This it has been confirmed.
Or
Um,
does it mean that they killed the guy that designed these units?
no, no, no. You know what
Because
this
I
means?
feel like that
Actually,
might.
no, I know. I know what this means. It means that the if you get all 3 units, you're gonna have 3 material or 3 equipment that together give you 12 LB gauge per turn fill. Okay, that's what it is. It's the perfect trinity. Like if your unit has no LB fill, you're gonna get it with these 3 units. So you should pull on this banner to get this trinity of great materia. Well,
Yeah.
actually, one of them was a
Uh,
staff.
the this materia also gives 50% true dual wield magic, so that's not
That's
bad.
decent.
The STMR is an item that will probably never be used by anyone other than her. It's a gun with 190 magic and 50% true dual wield. Actually,
Yeah.
I guess Louise could use it.
Yeah, like
I
it's
mean,
kind of slightly
Louise
stronger than
would prefer 2 copies of her own STMR or TMR.
yeah, Yeah, her TMR, upgraded TMR. Thing with Louise is that really her TMR has so much more magic that it's almost always worth just having her own TMR
Yeah,
and being double element because she is imbuable.
yeah.
So
I do
it's
think
very
that the
rarely.
advantage here is that this gives a decent fallback option if the enemy absorbs or just has crazy high fire resist for Luis.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's one of those like 600 fire resist, then yeah, you're gonna have to use
Yeah,
this. It's this, and then it's 4 wind Fissilis's STMR as well.
yeah, or two
That's also
copies of
decent.
this, but yeah.
Yeah,
And then it
yeah, you
also
should get
gives
2 copies of this,
yeah.
100%.
This also gives 500 static magic to it looks like the other summer units. Uh,
I think
and
it's all Fissilis's. Fissalisis?
let's see.
Fissili?
I'm trying to read these
Are you
Japanese
trying to read
names.
the Japanese? Okay. Impressive,
Uh,
Muspel, impressive.
yeah, Fissilis. For something Fissilis. I'm assuming that's 4 winds Fissilis.
Yeah.
Uh, Fissilis. What is this?
Okay, listen,
Let's see.
let's just say it's the Fissili, okay? And move the fuck on. What else do we say about this unit aside from that? We've already said her card sucks.
Oh, it's the fam. What is it? The fam mart Fissilis. I was trying to figure out what on earth that first word was because they released that promotional one in JP.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then Fissilis Neovision. What's this one? Are there two Fissilis Neovisions? Is that a Brave Shift? That's got to be the Brave Shift.
Probably, yeah. Listen, stop deciphering Japanese, okay? Stop being this much of a weeb, and let's just move on. So I guess like the banner is really like okay. Listen, people will kill me unless I mention this though, and I think it's really worth mentioning to be honest. So Muspel, you can feel free to cringe a bit, but her CGLB is actually really cute. Okay, it's actually
I
really
haven't
good.
seen it, but
Okay, you haven't? Okay. Cuz it's actually it's like the high point of the unit. The CGLB is actually and it's not like fucking two teenage girls making out cringe as like, Phasey's CGLB is. This one is just, cute. Although I do feel and I mentioned this on the Newsday episode as well that Moog is in an abusive relationship because she unloads the shit out of her gun on Moog. And Moog keeps getting like, thrown, hit, punched, shot. What's going on here, Muspel? Why do you think she's being so brutal to Moog? Who hurt you, Fissilis?
last well,
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
yeah,
So maybe we should talk about what these units were made for then, right?
the
Because we
boss
got
rush
this.
thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. I guess. Well, we should mention this week we also got a story event, which is the first time in a long while. I don't know, Muspel. Do you remember when we had a story event last time?
Not off the top of my head, I can probably find it on the wiki.
Yeah, but I can't. I honestly can't remember. Like it was a long time ago. So it's a standard story event. Not much to say there. I can't really say anything because I skipped all the story. So there's that. But I didn't skip the boss rush. Did you do the boss rush yet, Muspel?
I did not. No.
Okay.
So the last time we got a story event was Luis.
Oh wow, that long ago? Okay.
Yeah, and that was a global exclusive one.
Yeah, that was a
The
special
last
one. Yeah,
time we
exactly.
got one from JP was is this Mellows? I think this is Mellows.
Oh wow.
Or no, not Mellow. Corral and Diverty.
Okay, that's a bit sooner, but still far away. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's a super foe rush. Sorry, I said boss rush before. That was wrong. It's a super foe rush of 5 super foes that you meet, that you face one after another,
Hey,
and it has a
Bharos. What's another word for super foe?
strong adversary,
Uh huh. What
powerful antagonist, maybe.
what kind of a relationship would you say that these enemies have to normal enemies?
They are definitely like I would say boss enemies, right? Right. I would say so.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page here.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, this 5 boss rush has yeah, so it's 5 bosses. They are all either aquatic or insect. The last one is insect. I think the rest are aquatic. And these units are very tailor made for it. And the reason is there will be some players struggling. I think some players are struggling already because it has a very tight clear mission. So it has a clear mission of the entire rush. You need to defeat all 5 bosses together in a total of 10 turns, which can be tough if you don't have Summer Sniper Facilis.
Imagine imagine the balls it took to release something that is 5 battles with a 10-turn limit and an SLB unit.
Yeah, humongous balls. Humongous balls. But I guess and the best part of it is that if you have her at EX1, then as you know, you're gonna get her SLB at turn 5, which is kind of what you want because that's the strongest boss. You want the strongest burst on it. Turns out it's not really a problem because her LB is enough to kill it. However, it is a problem for us because we don't really have water mages that are that strong that could be used within the turn limit. So I'm gonna use strong very relatively here because Luna Freya, without even Yuna buffs, can one-shot every boss. But Luna Freya can't keep her shift form up,
Yeah.
meaning that you can't really beat it with Luna Freya in 10 turns. We have some other options in GL, like there's Igni. Igni is imbuable, right? Or has an ability that is
Yes.
imbuable.
Mhm.
What else? Louise, I guess, right?
Angela.
But Louise shouldn't count because Louise's mods, I don't know if anyone ever checked this, but Louise's non-morale mods are absolute garbage. Like she does zero, like she does like 20x damage or
Yeah,
something.
her non-morale mods are very low. Her LB is still strong outside of Clash, but LBing frequently like that can be tough.
Yeah. Although Louise, I guess, is one option that you could use. Just imbue Louise every turn and nuke. Who did you? Well, Angela, obviously. Yeah, you mentioned Angela. Anyone else you could easily use? I will. Well, Shui Yu is one unit I do want to mention, but even with the Frisia STM, her damage is actually really low. Unfortunately, it's still a fairly high mod. Like her LB mod is actually 250x,
Well,
but
that's not how you're supposed to use her. Her shift LB is kind of bad. It's her other skills that were better.
oh, really? I thought you were
Yes.
supposed to nuke with her LB.
No, she never used her LB in the original rotation. It was just her spirit was too low.
No, I know that, but that's the point. Like with Frisia's STM, she actually can get her spirit fairly high. She can get to 400%.
I'm not sure it would be worth it, especially since you would have to try to fill it her LB constantly.
Yeah, Sinzar did a clear with it, and yeah, he later shared the stats on our Discord, and like Oliveira did more damage than her, and Oliveira's dark. So one thing I should mention is that all other elements suck really bad. I think they have like the bosses have like 90% resistance to everything else except water or something
That's
like
not
that.
too bad. Like, it certainly hurts. I don't want to make it sound
Yeah, it hurts a
otherwise,
lot.
but it means that, like, Oliveira is going to be better than a unit like Shui Yu because Oliveira does, like, 6 times as much damage.
Exactly, but it's still fairly low damage. So I just did a quick test with Oliveira, and given like of course I could have fucked things up, but I geared my Oliveira. I have fairly good MP gear, so I get way above 9k MP. And with the wristwatch and the killer buffs and everything, I did like 20% of the final boss's HP, and I use Bulwark as the Amper and Imperialer, and with the LB, which I could get to a higher mod, given that I could use full LB gear and Aerith LB buff, I did like maybe I don't remember, maybe 30% or something. So you can't just go in with him, unfortunately. So yeah, that sucks a bit. But yeah, you do what you can. I guess I'm gonna give you away a tip that might not work when you're listening to this episode. I don't know, but you can cheese it right now. You can actually use the smoke bomb strat, where you use a smoke bomb every turn except the last one, and then unload on the last one. And if you do that, then Luna Freya is just like fantastic. She kills the final boss, easy peasy, with her limit burst. So I guess it's kind of, if you can do that, do it. Unless otherwise, yeah, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to try to use the units we have.
Yeah.
And why do you want to clear
like
this?
that. I do like that they have this kind of event though, where it's not too hard, but it's something that you at least have to put thought into.
Yeah,
I wish
absolutely.
it wasn't as laser targeted at the current banner unit, especially on a triple NB banner, but it's still better than what we see most weeks, especially since it's in addition to the normal event instead of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice. It's nice to at least like struggle a bit content. But I should mention what you're getting from this. So what you're actually getting from this is like these seashell type currency things, and they are actually used to summon on this banner. And there's a 3% envy rate, although like 2.1% of the envy rate goes to Phasey, and the other 0.9% go towards one of these summer units. So I think we're all in all getting 20 or 30 pulls. I don't remember. Might be only 20. So it's actually quite generous. I mean, you might luck out. I lucked out. I got the best unit on the banner, which is Frisia. So there's
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's nice. I mean, the units on this banner are far from meta defining, but I'm never gonna say no to free pulls.
So I heard. Oh, so you haven't? Oh, of course you haven't done it yet. Oh my God, no! This is
Well,
gonna
I
be
I, I
horrible
I did the
because
first stage, so I got an Aloha last well from the 2 summons I did.
Okay. Because I was just about to say, those that don't know Muspel is like an expert at chittering units he doesn't want. Like,
Oh yeah,
that's his superpower.
I pulled two
So
copies of Yuna off banner.
yeah, like, and I went to pity, and and so Muspel, he's gonna do this boss rush, and he's gonna be like tomorrow on the Discord. He's gonna be like, "Oh, look, I got like 3 copies of every unit on this banner. That's so weird and random." So let's see. Let's see if that happens. Join the Discord to find out the conclusion to this exciting cliffhanger. Um, yeah,
Nothing will ever make me as angry as when I got Rayjack.
Rayjack. Oh my God, I forgot. What if we get NV Rayjack at some point, like NVA Rayjack? Wouldn't that be cool? Wait, Rayjack
No,
never got 7-star, right? Or
no,
did he
he
in the
never
end?
got 7-star because King's Knight shut down.
Ah, right. And it
Yeah,
was just not worth it. Yeah,
yeah.
Rayjack.
They,
Oh
they
my
they
God.
did like a rerun. I think like the week before they announced the game was shutting down or something.
Yeah. That's so weird.
And
That.
at the time that it was announced, we were all like, "Why are we getting a rerun of this banner?"
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually really weird. That must have been to really get the final dollars from that
Oh, wait,
game. Like in the
from
last
all
week.
those King's Knight fans out there.
Yeah, like 5 of them. There's literally dozens of them.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
pulled Rayjack, I pulled Rico. Who else did I pull? I got Dragon Lord on his original banner when he sucked. Uh, there were so many others where I just pulled these terrible units, mostly limited, during their banners.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's luck. You should embrace it. Maybe you will get Sniper Physalis or Buoy Shinju or something. Who knows?
I would probably rather have Frisia for the STMR. Like I said, it's not great, but I'm too impatient to wait for the SLBs to charge up, and I'm not going to get them to EX3 where it's more reasonable. So
See, I told you Frisia is the best unit on the banner. Also, Loki, when you were saying I would rather have, I was expecting, for some super weird reason, that you were going to say an enema. I just wanted to say that because that was like, honest to God, I was sitting here, I was like, he's going to say enema. 100% he's going to say enema. You didn't, though. You said Frisia, but that's okay.
yeah, but a pretty boring week, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So
well, no, I don't want to say that. I think it's exciting
I
with the
do.
boss rush and you get the free pulls. No. But listen, you get the boss rush and you get free pulls. That's more exciting than many other weeks, honestly. Like,
I
sure,
don't
maybe
get why they made 3 boring units instead of focusing and making one interesting one.
that's actually true. I mean, there's a lot of effort going into making units and the sprites. So why just, like, why not just make it Summer Sniper Physalis and then really invest in the unit instead of like, because that also has to cost less to just make like interesting kits.
My guess is that the actual reason is just something because uh, bikini units sell no matter how bad they are, so the more they make, the more money they make.
Listen, how do you have sex with a mermaid though?
Uh, I'm not entirely convinced that the people that pull on these banners know what sex is.
Oof, touche. Oof, hitting the simps where it hurts. Okay, nice. Not bad.
But yeah,
Like, cause I was do you think it's like a fish thing? Cause fish, they like just lay eggs on the bottom of the sea, and then like the male fish just come in and jizz all over the eggs. Maybe that's just how you do it.
that's our show, everybody. Bye.